It's 11:47 p.m. Your laptop is open. The SAT exam date is just around the corner. The cursor on the screen is blinking as you start a research paper. And somehow you're watching a stranger noodles on Instagram, and suddenly their chopstick skills feel academically important. Have you ever noticed that the closer a deadline gets, the more interesting your phone becomes? The strange thing about procrastination is this. It rarely comes from laziness. It often comes from perfectionism. I didn't realize this at first. I thought I was just bad at managing my time. But the more I paid attention, the more I noticed the pattern. Every time I get too many things to do, I didn't start. I planned. And the more I planned, the more overwhelming everything became, especially after I transferred to the international department. Deadlines stopped being occasional visitors. They moved in. They took over my room, they ate my food, they sat on my couch asking, "Hey, did you finish that essay yet?" SAT tests, AP exams, research papers, application essays. Everything seems to become so important and urgent. And when all of them mill around, how do we react? Let me take a guess. You start by saying, I'm going to stay focused and create the perfect plan to stay on task. You make a schedule. Tomorrow morning, roughly 3 sets of SAT practice, afternoon, tackle 20 pages of calculus, evening, finish the research paper. Seems like a great plan, isn't it? But the next morning, when we really settle down before the desk, we realize something. It's impossible. And once perfection becomes impossible, we don't start at all. Thus we scroll, scroll, and scroll. Does it sound familiar to you? If so, you are not alone. So why do we do that? For sometimes what we call procrastination is fear, and what we call laziness is perfectionism in disguise. I had been stuck in this vicious cycle for a long time, so I started looking for answers. One day, while scrolling, ironically, I came across something unexpected. A video about a Japanese aesthetic called wabi-sabi, the beauty of imperfection. I clicked on it, and a glistening light stood out to me. It said, this idea helps us to step out the hamster wheel of chasing the perfect life and start appreciating things as they are, perfectly imperfect. And I remember thinking, wait, this is exactly what I'm looking for. Not another productivity hack, not a better schedule, but a completely different way of thinking. So I kept digging into it. Wabi-sabi is intertwined with Zen Buddhism, which, in simple terms, is about admiring things as they are, without judging or contrivance to change them. It's the idea that life doesn't have to be perfect or to be meaningful. One of the best examples of this is the Ginkakuji Temple in Kyoto, Japan. However, here's the strange part. It's not silver, and it's never even finished. Next to it is the Golden Pavilion. Bright, polished, and exactly what you'd expect something beautiful to look like. So, if I told you that the Silver Pavilion was more beautiful, some of you might think, really, it just looks ugly. Honestly, at first glance, it kind of does, but that's the point. Instead of judging it based on what we think it should be, people begin to appreciate it for what it is. Its weathered wood, its quiet presence, the way it blends into its surroundings. And somehow that makes it more real, more human. The view is not unreasonable. At first glance, the temple doesn't look that impressive. It's soundless, weathered, almost plain. But that's only when we compare it to what we think it should be. Because in our minds, silver means shiny, perfect, eye-catching. But when we let go of that expectations, something changes. We start to notice the details. The patterns in the wood, the canary bird on the rooftop, the trees, water, and beauty that match with each other. It doesn't stand out. It blends in. And somehow, that makes it more beautiful, not less. And I think that's where this connects back to us, because we do the same things to ourselves. We compare ourselves to some perfect versions of our heads. Perfect grades, perfect results, perfect performance. But when we feel like we can't reach that version, we don't start at all. But what if we stop comparing? What if we treated ourselves as the people see the silver pavilion? Not as something I'll finish or fly, but as something still in progress? Perhaps the answer is neither to defeat deadlines nor become perfect. Not with an elaborately constructed schedule, not with an heroic ambition to accomplish everything flawlessly, but with an imperfect, stumbling step. So the next time when you sit down with a long list of assignments, instead of thinking, I need to do this perfectly, try thinking, I just need to start. Write the first sentence, even if it's 5. So one problem, even if it's slow. And finish one small part, even if it's cluttered. Because perfection can always wait. But when we move forward anyway, that's where the freedom from fear lies. Thank you.